Come on, YouTube, come through. Grand Rising, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. This is the Blank Spot, and we're Sublimation Blanks and Supply Company. And today we're doing a tutorial on tumblers. So we're gonna sublimate some tumblers. So come on and sub a tumbler with me. We had a young lady the other day while I was live on another social media platform. She said, "Hey, you know what would be great? It'd be great if you sublimated a tumbler live as a tutorial." Now we've done this several times before, and this is not going to be any different. So guys, do me a favor as you jump on and you see this, whenever you see this, wherever you see this from, drop your city and your state. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Definitely like and share this video as we talk about sublimating a tumbler. And this is for anybody who's a beginner who wants to start sublimating tumblers. And I'm going to go over this from beginning to end. So there are going to be some items listed in the description. We are a sublimation blanks and supply company, so there's going to be some items listed in the description that you can purchase. You can find us on our store. If you're on any other platform, i.e., maybe Facebook or even TikTok, you guys can actually go to our link in the bio. If you're on TikTok, and go ahead and check us out as we share this information on this tutorial. You can go to our website at theblankspot.com. If you're on Facebook, you'll see this as well on the tutorial. You'll be able to see it in the description. So let's do a couple little ground rules. All right. If you have a question, type it into the comments. Okay. If you have a question, type it into the comments, and I'll be checking periodically to see if anybody has any questions. If you are brand new to sublimation and you're looking to start doing tumblers, there's a couple things that you're gonna need to have. Okay, or have access to. You definitely are going to need to have either a tumbler press, a mug press, or a convection oven. Now, one question I get all the time, and I'm gonna use this as a FAQ, frequently asked questions. The question that I get most of the time, more often than not, is what's the best tumbler press? Well, I got to be honest with you. You probably can't afford the best tumbler press. Okay, the best tumbler press is not always the most expensive tumbler press. However, you want to make sure you do some reviews on your tumbler presses before you get them. You want to work within your budget. So if you can work within your budget, it's going to make more sense. Getting the best of anything and you just get started, you may not decide to keep on doing sublimation. So if that's the case and you don't know if you're going to keep doing sublimation, get you a tumbler press. Maybe go to a marketplace, maybe a Facebook marketplace. Maybe you go online and search somebody who may be getting rid of their tumbler presses, the tumbler press, somebody who just decided that they didn't want to do it anymore. So that would probably be my best recommendation for people who are just getting started. As far as you trying to get the best tumbler press, everybody's not going to be able to afford the most expensive one. And also, name brands does not mean that they're the best. So I want you to keep that in mind as well as you go forward in any equipment that you're using when you're crafting. Okay, so once again, sublimation printers. If you want a sublimation printer, I recommend you get a sublimation printer. Do your research. You have the Epson F170, which is the smaller format printer. You have the Epson F570, which is the wide format printer. Make sure you do your research. You have the Sawgrass line of printers, Sawgrass 500 and the Sawgrass 1000s. Those are actual sublimation printers. Do your research because you're talking about the maintenance. How much is it going to cost to maintain that printer with ink, with paper, and learning the maintenance and how it actually works. Now, if you're just doing this to get started and you just want to kind of mess around, there's printers that you can convert. You can get one of the Eco Tank printers. Most people are starting with the 2000 series. I think it's like a 2800, 2700. They're getting those printers to start with as far as converting, but those are not sublimation printers. Those are printers that are converted to do sublimation, and there is a huge difference. So if you're serious about it and you know that you're going to be doing it, I recommend you get you a sublimation printer. But if you don't know, go ahead and get you a Eco Tank. Get you an Eco Tank, Epson Eco Tank printer that you can convert to sublimation, and it's not really an issue with converting the printer because all you're doing is just putting the ink in there. The only time that converting becomes an issue is when you're not using the printer. Just like anything else. I know people who have converted their printers and they have not had any issues. When you don't use your printer, you're gonna have an issue. So, but anyway, that's what I wanted to go ahead and touch on. Once again, my name is Eric, coming in from the Blanks Spot. We are a sublimation blanks and supply company located in outside of South Carolina, and I want you guys to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into when you get ready to get started. So, some items that you're gonna need. Once again, you're gonna need a transfer. Okay, you're gonna need yourself a transfer. You're gonna need yourself a tumbler press, convection oven, or a mug press. Okay, tumbler press, convection oven, or a mug press. Now, this is not vinyl, so you cannot just peel this and expect it to stay on here. It doesn't work like that. Understand the process of sublimation. Sublimation is a science. It's a scientific process. This is a transfer, one of the transfers that I'm going to be using. This is sublimation ink on sublimation paper. To put it quite clearly and plainly, sublimation is an ink dye process. You're going to be sublimating onto a substrate. Okay, this is called a substrate. It's a tumbler, but it's classified as a substrate. Anything that you're going to be sublimating on. This tumbler is not just any type of tumbler. So you're not going to go to the Dollar General. You're not going to go to the dollar store. You're not going to go to the $1.25 store. You're not going to go to any of those places to get this tumbler. You can go to Michael's. You can go to, I don't know if Hobby Lobby has them, and Joann's, I don't know if they have them. Or you can go to a blanks store, sublimation blanks and supply store, or warehouse like ours is the Blank Spot, and you can get that tumbler. Now, just getting any tumbler from Walmart, you will be able to sublimate, but that does not mean that it's going to stay. This is a special coated tumbler. This has a poly coating, short polyester. It's a poly coating. So polyurethane, something poly. Okay. So you want to make sure that you have something that you know is sublimatable and that you can actually use. Okay. So you need a substrate that can be sublimated. One of the biggest issues that I find with people who are new to crafting, specifically sublimation, is that the biggest thing that we're trying to do is we're trying to save money. I get it, saves you some money, but remember, if you go to buy something that's cheap and inexpensive just to save money, most times you're going to end up paying for it twice. So find you a vendor that you trust, that you have a relationship with, that they have actually tested their own products, that you can actually know for a fact that these things are sublimated. I've seen people just in our network, or people who have become who are customers of ours, who went to vendors. They went to vendors directly overseas, and they purchased tumblers from places like DHL, Alibaba, AliExpress, and they tried to circumvent the system, i.e., go around U.S. vendors like ourselves. And they said, "Hey, you know what? I'm not paying that price. I'll go ahead and do my own, become my own supplier. I'll get my stuff from my own vendor." And the vendor either ends up not giving them what they need in time, or they end up giving them something that's not sublimation. And because we're not reading the fine print, so this is a sublimation company. So you're gonna need your substrate. For all intents and purposes, this is a 30-ounce tumbler, and I'm doing this for somebody. This is actually an order. And then you're gonna need, like I said, a tumbler press, a convection oven, or a mug press. Now, depending on what you like, what you learn how to use, I prefer actually a convection oven, but I'm not doing the oven today. And the only reason I prefer the oven because I think the oven bakes it more evenly. That's just my opinion. If you get the right press will do the same thing for you, but you have to rotate it. So that's that. The next thing is, before you even get started, you want to take your tumbler, and you want to adjust the pressure for your tumbler. So what I do is I do the push test. Okay, I've already adjusted it, but I do the push test. If I can't push it through, it's snug, it's tight. I don't want it too tight, because if I put it too tight, what's going to happen is I'm going to have the tape marks on that when I press it. Okay. The next thing is you got to know your temperature and your time. Okay, you got to know your temperature and time. Most of your vendors are going to give you recommended temperatures and times. However, depending on where you get your items from, they may not. So there's always opportunity to find videos like this on YouTube or any other training platforms or platforms that do tutorials to get a recommendation. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on and let it heat up. And this particular press, and every press is different. So please do not ask me what temperature do I recommend. It depends on your press. It should come, the recommended temperature and time should come with the press, okay? Now, if you are using a press like this one I think I got it set to 370, and I'm going to be subbing it for 49 seconds or so, 45 seconds, and I'm going to rotate 180 degrees. We have other presses that we have purchased in the past and sold them. Our recommendation is 365 degrees, which is about 5 degrees off, for about 55 to 60 seconds, and then rotate. Incredible greetings, Professor. How you doing? What's going on with you? Happy holidays too. So we're just doing this tutorial, guys. And if you are here for the tutorial and you're here for this information, please be here. Please be here. Be present, because somebody's going to have a question. Somebody's going to have a question, and they're going to want an answer about what I'm doing here. And if you have a question about what I'm doing here, I am here to answer these questions. Any other questions that you have, make sure you email us at info@theblankspot.com. info@theblankspot.com. Any other questions besides what I'm doing right here, make sure you contact us at info@theblankspot.com. We like to have a receipt, okay? And an email receipt as a business owner is very important, in my opinion. So you're also going to need some heat tape, okay? We have our own heat tape here at the Blank Spot. Our heat tape is yellow, as you can see. It does not stain, so you don't have to worry about that stain on your substrate. We have our transfer. I'm doing some 3D bubble tumbler wraps. So we have our transfer. We're using our sublimation paper. So that's also going to be important, because some sublimation paper, you're going to have to use butcher paper because it bleeds. Our paper does not bleed. When I mean bleed out over the transfer, which means that you would have to put butcher paper over your transfer after you wrap it, and then to keep it from bleeding out onto your press surface. So I'm going to go ahead and start taping this. Oh yeah, I got a microfiber cloth, and I wipe this off to make sure there's no fingerprints, no lint, or any residue on here, any oil or anything. I wipe that off. If I'm going slow because I don't want to miss anything. And just so you guys know, the next thing you want to do before I even did that, I had to measure the tumbler. I think I'm missing something. That's why I have to measure the tumbler. Okay, Mike, what's going on, man? Thanks for jumping on. So I measured this tumbler, and you want to measure each substrate. Just because you get these tumblers out of the same batch, that does not mean that they were machined the same. So you want to measure the length of the tumbler. So you're gonna need a fabric ruler, all right? Using the yardstick, this ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work this time, because you have to measure the circumference as well. So I measured this one at approximately 9.5. And when I do the circumference, I always go to the top. I never go to the middle. And to give myself some room, I think we measured this one at 10.1. Okay. So for me, I always cut off the edges. Oh yeah, I'm ready, brother. I am ready. Ready for our conversation tonight. So I just touched it again. And if your fingers are oily, if your hands are oily, you definitely want to make sure you wipe it down. If you touch your transfer directly with your hands, you can actually also leave thumbprints. Okay, so you want to make sure you don't touch directly if your hands are sweaty. And the last thing is, I cut my transfer. I don't leave any white on my transfer. Some people do. Some people leave white around the edge of the transfer, but I don't. Okay, so you'll learn how to cut your transfer. So as I lay this down, I'm going to make sure you guys can see. Hopefully you guys can see. Now this is a tutorial. Okay. Now I'm not going to have the best camera angles, because I'm not a camera person. That's not my job. But hopefully you'll get some value out of this. So when you wrap, and I am right-handed, and it is going to matter, I usually cut all the way to the edge. You have to make sure if you decide to leave white onto your transfer, you want to make sure that the white is overlapping. That means it's on top and not touching the tumbler. Because if the white is touching the tumbler, then that means that you're going to have white on your tumbler. Now, I got to tell y'all this. This ain't going to be perfect. And practice does not make perfect. What practice does is make you better. What practice does is make you more confident. So that the whole adage about practice makes perfect, that's not true. But if you practice and you get better, you're going to get more confident. You'll figure out how you can actually make this work to your advantage, and it'll make more sense. And as you get better and more confident, you can move on to other things. So as I wrap this around, some people stand it up and do it. I don't. I like to lay it down. As I wrap this around, I got a cool tape dispenser too, y'all. It cuts the tape when I roll. So I'm going to kind of prep this right here. As I wrap this around, I'm pulling towards myself. I'm pushing down with my thumbs. I'm pushing with my thumbs underneath, and I'm pulling towards me, okay? Because the overlap is coming towards me. And I'm holding with my index finger and my thumb. I'm going to take my tape, and I'm going to take my first piece in the middle. And as I tape, I pull, because I want this to be tight. The reason why I want this to be tight is because I don't want to have any ghosting, okay? I don't want to have any ghosting. And I'm going to space this out a tad bit because I'm using a tumbler press. I don't feel like I have to use a lot of tape because the press itself is going to give me the pressure, okay, that I need. So I'm not going to tape this all the way. And I'm going to show you what I mean. Some people tape differently, but you're going to find what works for you, okay? But I'm using my tape. I'm leveraging my tape excuse me, to hold my seam down. I'm leveraging my tape to hold my seam down. Now, there are some things that I'm going to do that I switch up every now and again. Can you see that? I'm not stopping there. I'm going to still put tape here, and then I'm going to go around each end, okay? I'm taping, and then I'm going to take another piece on the edge, another piece here, and I'm going all the way around. And you'll see why in a minute. Everybody has their own method, but I don't think you need a lot of tape when you're using a tumbler press. Once again, this is a tutorial to get you started, not to tell you exactly what to do and how to do it, okay? You're not going to get better until you actually do it. Now you see me taking my thumb, going down the seam, taking my fingernail, and I'm going down the seam. Some of this stuff you kind of learn as you go, all right? The last piece that I'm going to do is I'm going to take some tape and go right around the edge. So the tape, where am I putting the tape? I'm putting the tape right around the edge of the tumbler, at the bottom, at the base, and at the top. And as I put the tape on, I'm pulling. I'm not so tight when I'm pulling. I'm just pulling to make it snug, because I found out that if I pull it too tight, what's going to end up happening is it'll leave that tape mark. Once again, you'll learn as you go what works for you. This is simply a tutorial to get you started, guys. Now, my press is already at 370 degrees. All right. So now I never put my tumbler straight up and down. I never put it at 12 o'clock. I always put it at 3 o'clock away from me or 9 o'clock towards me. But I never put it at 12 o'clock because I'm going to rotate this 180 degrees. And it also kind of reminds me that I need to rotate it, in which way I need to rotate it. So I'm taking questions, guys. Anybody have any questions or comments about what you're seeing right now? Questions or comments? Make sure you follow us, y'all. make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is the Blanks Spot Academy. We're looking for more followers. If you're looking for tutorials, more tutorials like this, you can find them on the Blanks Spot Academy. We sublimate just about everything we have sublimated in this store to make sure it is good quality. Temp and time. The temperature that I'm using for this particular heat press is 370 degrees, and I'm sublimating it for 45 seconds, and then I'm going to rotate it for another 45 seconds. Every tumbler press is different. So I would start with at least 350 degrees, 355 degrees, and then I will go from there. Okay? I would do at least 55 to 60 seconds, and I'm rotating now. I would do at least 55 to 60 seconds, and then I would adjust from there. That's just my recommendation. How you been, Fuego? What's going on? Long time. So as you guys jump on, do me a favor, type in your city and state, and double tap the screen if you feel like you're getting some value, because I feel like I'm not getting any value because I don't know if you guys are locked in. I don't know if you shared on YouTube or not, or Facebook, but I don't know if you guys are shared or not, but I don't feel like I'm giving any value, guys. I don't know if you guys are locked in or what the problem is, but make sure you share this. Please and thank you. So safety is important. You want to make sure you have your safety gloves. All right. My time is up. Some tumbler presses beep. This one does not. My time is up. Now what I've been doing lately is I've already pressed this, but I'm going to hold it to the edge, just on the edge, because I want to press the edge, because I want to make sure it goes all the way around. I don't want any ghosting around the tip. Okay. And I see something on my transfer, so I think I may press this again because there's a gap. I want y'all to see this. You see that gap right there? That line? That's the gap because this is a 30-ounce tumbler. You see these two lines, that striation? That's the gap. That's what I see on the top. So I'm gonna press this again for about 30 more seconds because I don't want that line to be there. What we got? So we have several printers in here, but our sublimation printer is a F6370 Cherokee. But we have converted printers in here as well. But this came off of an actual sublimation printer. I don't know how to get the seam straight. It's going to take some practice. It's going to take practice. Your seam being straight is going to mean your seam being straight is going to be determined by how your taping is. Okay. If your seam is not straight, that means you're not lining up your. If your seam is not straight, that means you're not lining up your image. So you may have to stand your cup up, straight up and down, and line your image up. Okay. Also, cutting your image. You have to be able to cut your image straight as well. That's going to help you out. So a lot of people are when you're having issues with your seam, you're either you're not cutting straight or you're not lining it up straight. That's what I've noticed. Now this is hot, so and I'm gonna let y'all know, I don't put this in cold water. I heard people say that all the time. I don't put this at cold water to stop it from baking and all that stuff. Why? You just getting started. You ain't making that many tumblers. And even if you were to do that, will that really help? That's just the extra step that you got to try to figure out how to control. I'm going back to some of these comments. Hold up. I've been doing my tumblers in a mug press, and I just ordered an automatic tumbler press. Why did you order an automatic tumbler press? Do you have problems with arthritis? Or did somebody tell you that it was easier to do with an automatic tumbler press? Just my curiosity. Grand Rising. It is morning for you, isn't it? How you doing? So guys, you're just jumping on. This is the Blank Spot, and we're doing a tumbler tutorial. Somebody wanted to do a live tutorial. I doubt if they're on right now, but they can see me doing this live. It'll be a fresh video, and they'll see it, and they can go back and check it out. Once again, a lot of people want to know what the best of something is. And I'm just going to let you know, man, if you're just getting started, you don't know if you're going to want to do this or not. Just my opinion. So spending all that money on the best can be money spent other places. I've seen a lot of people buy the best equipment, and I'm looking for them right now because they're not doing it anymore. I like to buy that equipment off of them for pennies on the dollar. He said it looks easy, LOL. I don't know. I'm new to all this. I got you. I just want to know. No judgment. I am doing better than amazing. So I've been making time to get on here lately, and I'm going to be doing more of these tutorials on a regular basis. We're making time to get on here lately to advertise our business. The name of our company is The Blank Spot. We are a sublimation blanks and supply company located in South Carolina. And I sort of see, D, you want to come for a minute? Can you come? I sort of see what that line was. It's not bad, but I sort of see what that line was. I'm going to show D for a minute. You see right there? That's the gap in the press.
Oh.
So I press it again. So what I probably should have done is I probably should have pressed it for about 20 seconds and then rotate it. So I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to show y'all something. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. I see just a light discoloration where the line was, where the gap was. You may not be able to see it because I blended it in pretty well. I blended it in pretty well. You can barely see it, okay? This is my top. And I'll show you the seam. The seam is here. Here's the seam. Okay. That's one down. I had a question. Let me see. What's the best in your opinion on the press machine or the oven? I honestly like doing the oven because, like I said, the oven bakes more evenly. That's just my opinion. It bakes more evenly, and as you saw, I had a slight issue because it leaves a gap. This is a 30-ounce tumbler, and it leaves a gap. So what I had to do is I have to rotate it. If I let it do the whole time on one side, I'd have to rotate it. So what I'm going to do next time is, because I have 3 more 30 ounces to do, I'm going to do it like 20 seconds, rotate, 20 seconds, rotate. I just have to do 2 minutes, or close to 2 minutes. So that's what I'm going to do. All right? That's just my opinion. I like the oven better. But with the oven, you have to have, with the oven, you got to have, you got to have great heat tape. Or if you're using, some people use painter's tape. Let's see. Heat tape. Thank you, John. Appreciate you for answering that. Can you use a mug press for tumblers? I have. Now I've never used a mug press personally for tumblers. I know people who do. I know that you have to turn it upside down. So I mean, if you just get started and you don't want to invest in a mug press or oven, then I mean, try it out. That's beautiful. I'll take to the stage with. Thank you. I appreciate it. In my opinion, the press works better. And that, I mean, you know, I've had better results with the 30 ounce in the oven, and I had different results. So it just depends. I think I do well on both. I'm having trouble learning how to print my own transfers. You gotta learn how to design. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Pandora. I mean, What troubles are you having printing your own transfers? You got to make sure that your image is mirrored. I mean, other than that, are you having troubles with design software? Because there's lots of different issues that you could be having. You having trouble with design software? What are you having troubles with? That's kind of a vague statement. Questions, comments. Thank y'all for jumping on. Make sure you follow us on our YouTube channel, The Blanks Spot Academy. Please and thank you. Appreciate it. Once again, you just coming on. This is The Blank Spot. Sublimation Blanks and Supply Company located right outside of Columbia, South Carolina. Where do we buy our tumblers from? We're a vendor, so we have our own vendor. D, can you do me a favor? I'm gonna show you something. No, I think what I did the 10.5. I don't think it was really good. Yeah. Oh, he can go to that. Yes, the 30 ounce. I'm gonna do the other one.
Yeah, I think that'd be a 10.2.
Yeah, 10.1. No, 9.5 for the circumference was good. That's what I did.
Yeah.
But this is not it. I cut it straight at the and I could be wrong. Oh yeah, not here. 9.5. See? Yeah, so we are a Sublimation Blanks supplier. So if you guys are looking to purchase, you can go to theblankspot.com. If you don't see what you want, you can reach us. You can reach us at email info@theblankspot.com. We do special orders as well.
Is it Hampton?
Yeah.
It's a 20 ounce?
30. There's a 30 back there. You gotta go to the back.
Oh.
It's the back of the football. No, right there. The last pro. The last pro. You'll see. Keep on going to the back. Right up in there. Go back. That's your 30 ounces right there. Okay. It should be over there, right? Those are 30 ounces. Yeah, that's 30. Yeah. That's Ravens too. Is that a 20 ounce Ravens?
Yeah.
That's a 20.
That's the Eagles.
Okay. But that Ravens is 20, right?
Yeah, that's a 20. No, that's
Huh? It should be a Panthers in there. Okay. I'm looking at it, right?
What's this mean? Oh.
I just want to see the size. Do we have classes? Yeah, we're getting back to doing classes. We're gonna get back to doing classes. We're taking a break right now. We're probably gonna get started the first year. I don't even know. No. Probably gonna get started at the first of the year doing classes. We're gonna have to test the online. We're gonna have to test our online process. So give me 1 second, guys. So that is the tutorial for the tumbler. For the tumblers, hope you found some value. I'm gonna drop some more information on our YouTube later on. Make sure you follow this, like this, share this, leave a comment, and drop your city and state. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and let me know how you like the tutorial. My name is Eric, coming from Columbia, South Carolina, right outside Columbia, South Carolina, in Casey, South Carolina. Like I always say, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. Happy holidays, and I'll see you at the top because there's too many people struggling at the bottom. Peace.